guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm talking about how to journal. I'm doing this because, well, I have a podcast on Spotify and I started that about like under a year ago maybe, and it was really helpful because I wanted not only to help other people but also to help myself. Working on these episodes or these topics, they helped me to research more, and it definitely made me more confident. It was very helpful. So whether 2 people watch, whether 5 people watch, whether 10 or 100 people watch, I hope to help those people. But today I'm talking about journaling because this is such a big part of my life. I love journaling. I journal every single day most of the time, and I know like people are always like, yeah, journal in the morning, journal before you sleep, but it's like, what really is journaling? And that's what I'm going to be talking about because it was definitely a journey to get here. I went through many different methods. I used different forms of journaling, like online and in a journal, in a notebook, whatever, with friends, without friends. And I'm going to tell you guys about what I discovered and what helped me to journal and to love journaling and to benefit from journaling. I am a senior in high school, which I know, like, I'm just 17, but through my 17 years of living, I guess a lot has led to where I am now. And I guess last year, like, I was a different person than I am now. There was kind of like a turn of events at one point, and a lot happened that kind of like changed a lot that I believed in. I was like what's going on? And listening to podcasts, listening to YouTubers, it really helped me kind of find that confidence within myself. And that's when I started to journal a lot. And I started honestly using an online form, and then I realized that I like journaling on a notebook more. So let's start by talking about, why do I journal, or why should you journal? I'm the type of person, I love making lists, my little calendar and my notebooks and my Notion and all of my organization apps, and that's just what really helps me stay on top of my stuff. And you know, time management, productivity, all that, that's what helps me. I mean, everyone's different in the way that they manage their life and themselves, but I'm definitely a list, calendar, write it down, make a note type of person. And if you're very much into organization just like me, then you're gonna love this. Not only is it good for organization, but it's also really good for your mental health. Like, just writing everything down. You may have a friend that you like to talk to, or maybe your mom, or maybe your sister or your brother, I don't know. But for me, I love talking to my friends and my mom, but as well, sometimes I just need to write something down. And keeping everything locked up inside of you is not going to help whatsoever. It's actually very counterproductive to not let out everything that's happening inside of your mind. So what worked for me was journaling it all down. Not only is it healthy to like write everything down, but it's so fun to read back. Like, it's like a little library, like a little diary. It's fun to read back. Like, I like looking back at my entries from like January, remembering what was happening in my mind. I like reading back my entries from 2 years ago and seeing what the heck was happening in my life. I'm like reading and I'm like, wow, like I forgot this day existed, but now I'm reading my point of view from like 2022 or something, and I'm like, damn, like that's crazy. I see my journal as my friend, as lonely and emo as that sounds. I love my friends and I love my family, but she is like a little friend to me as well. I take her everywhere. Wherever I'm going, she's in my bag with a handy pen, and they are my loves. I write everything in this notebook. I make lists in this notebook. I write about my day, I write about my feelings, I write about my friends, my family, boys, girls, whatever. So a lot of people are like confused. They're like, how do I start getting into journaling? Like, what even is that? What do I do? How do I start just journaling? First advice I'm gonna give you, just don't overthink it. You might think, oh, I need to make it aesthetic and I need to have headers and I need to have fancy supplies. You really don't. I honestly started out using the website or the app Notion. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. I love using it for organization, and it used to be like my online journal. I had like a little section called journal, and then I would go in every day and I would journal in the morning, at night, weekly. Later on, I'm gonna give you like little examples of what I would write in the morning and the night, because I did like organized journaling. I didn't just like write from like my mind. Like I would answer questions. Now I realized I like writing in a journal more, so around like December or January maybe, that's when I switched from online to writing in a journal. Yeah, ever since like December or January, I've just been journaling physical, like in a old school notebook, and I just love it. I love also seeing the progress as you fill it up. Like I just bought this journal in like April, and I'm already like this far in, like that's all I have left, and it's just nice to see that progress. Like that was me like 2 years ago, that's me now, and this is how I used to think, this is how I think now, and it's just so nice. When you want to start something new, I feel like a lot of us, our first thought is like, oh, let me go shopping, like let me buy supplies, let me buy new things, and that just like excites you to get started. I'm gonna tell you, like I'm gonna be the first person to tell you, as a person who always does this, like I'm always shopping, buying new things that I'm not gonna use. You don't really need anything to journal. All you need is your notebook and your pen. And let's talk about notebooks for a second. I know I am the type of person who literally stocks up on notebooks. Like I just have a bunch of like random journals that are empty and I don't use them. Well, that was the old me. I fill them all up now, and trust me, it feels so much better, and you get to buy new ones all the time, and it just feels great. A lot of people have different preferences. I have a friend, for example, she likes her notebooks, like her journals, to be really skinny, but she likes them to be like wider. Like she uses basically like school notebooks basically. I like mine to be thicker and smaller, not this small. I ordered this one from Amazon, and it's not really my favorite journal, but I will put like a screenshot of my preferred journals. It's like my old one, for example, it was like a bit longer, like a bit squarish. It was like thick, and I just like that for my notebooks, you know. Some people like thinner ones, some people like thicker ones, some people like wide, small, dotted lines, so many different types to choose from. I am such a spiral girl when it comes to like school and note taking, but all of my journals have been like composition. I don't know. Writing utensils, like you don't need to buy anything fancy really. I just use this pen. I love this pen. It's like a gel pen, and it's like 0.5 I think, because it's really thin. Like I don't know if you can see, and it writes so smoothly, and I love this pen, and it's so cheap. But really you don't need all that fancy crap. Like on Pinterest they show like, oh, journaling, and then it's like a fancy header and fancy stickers and fancy washi tape and all that. Like you don't need that, girl. Just write down your feelings. Like look, like my journal is mainly just like me just like spam writing. Like it's messy, and that's how it should be. It's like putting your mind onto paper. Like you're not trying to make it cute for someone, you're not trying to make it cute for Pinterest, for anything. You're just trying to let everything out. So you do you, boo. For prompts, well, that's how I started out like answering questions before I started to just like journal like with nothing but my mind. And I really recommend Pinterest for that. Just search up like journal prompts, journaling questions, whatever, and there's so many lists on there, so many ideas for you to just dig deep. I used to do like morning questions, and then night questions, and then weekly questions that I would do like once a week. And then soon enough, you're just gonna start to write. Like that's how I started. I got bored of my daily questions, and now I just write whenever I feel like it. Okay, so what exactly are we writing in this journal? Like I know I keep saying like, oh, just write, answer questions. What is that? What are we putting down? A journal, in my opinion, is like an organized modern diary. Like we all had those diaries when we were like whatever, 8 years old, 9 years old, and we'd just be like, oh, I went to school today, my teacher gave me a lot of homework, and like whatever, you know. A journal is a diary basically, but it's just the adult version. I'm journaling is literally just code for I'm writing in my diary. I usually write about like my emotions, events that happen in my life. Like if I'm angry, I write that down. If I'm really happy about something, I'll write it down. Especially when I'm like crying, when I'm sad, when I'm like in pain, like I'll write that down. Like I really just write everything. You can also do the organized prompts like I used to say. For my morning prompts, I do, for example, what are you excited for today? What's one productive thing you want to do today? What's your to-do list for today? Something like that, so that I like start off the day with mindfulness, and then I end off the day with being like, what was the thing that you're most proud of doing today? What's the thing you're not proud of for doing today? what do you want to change about tomorrow, stuff like that. Starting it off with mindfulness, ending it off with mindfulness. And then once a week I'd have like a little sit down session where I'm just like, okay, what did I do good this week? What did I do bad this week? What do I want to improve next week? I love reading back my old journal prompts, so I love writing down everything that's like happening in the moment. I just like to write that down as if you have files on your life. And I think it's so fun, like just being mindful of everything going on, all the thoughts going on in your life. It's just nice to write it down. So in my psychology class, for example, we learned that, like, let's say you're angry, right? A lot of people say like, oh, go to like a rage room so you can like let out all the anger. But really that's also counterproductive, because letting out your rage, or like screaming or ranting or smashing a bunch of things with a bat, it might make you feel better in the moment, but it's just gonna rile you up. Like, you're just gonna get more mad. Journaling your anger is a lot more productive, and sometimes you don't feel like being mature about it, but if you think about it, really just sitting down writing like, okay, what's the cause of my anger? Why am I angry about this? What's making me mad about it? What can I do to fix that? Like, you know what I mean? It helps you to be more mindful, which is the most important thing in my opinion, because time moves so quickly, and if we're not feeling every moment and enjoying every moment and making the most of every moment, then what are we doing? So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and I hope that this benefited you. I hope you guys get inspired to go journal. Maybe I'll make some journal with me videos. We'll see. Comment down below if you have any ideas for me, if you have any pointers, any thoughts at all, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Also, make sure to check out my Spotify podcast. I have a lot more of these types of videos on there. Everything about confidence, self-love, self-growth, productivity, all that. So go check it out. I'll put it in the description, and have a good day. Love you guys.